Interviewing sucks. Even the best ones can be nerve-wracking. But when you get a bad interviewer, your day is just ruined. I've been a hiring manager for 20 years, and I've seen them all. While you might feel like you have no choice but to put up with an awful interviewer, I'm going to share some tips and tricks that will help you turn any interview around, even if you have the worst interviewer on earth. The key is to keep it professional and respectful. I'll go over 6 bad but pretty common interviewing scenarios and how to work around them. Jumping right in. The worst and probably most common interview experience involves an interviewer that just does not want to be there. They will make it very clear at the start of the meeting that they don't have the time or energy to be doing the interview. Common lines include, "We'll have to make this quick. I have a hard stop in 15 minutes. I'm actually filling in for someone else, and I have a packed schedule. Let's keep this short. I have a meeting after this." If they're not that open about the time pressure, you might notice them constantly checking the phones or the clock. Overall, they might just look extremely distracted and seem very impatient. The problem with not addressing this right away is that you're going to feel like the interview is very rushed. This type of interviewer will try and cut you off at all your answers and hardly pay attention to anything you say. They're not even trying to screen you. They just want to get the interview over with and move on with their lives. The sad truth is that if you continue with this type of interviewer, you'll be wasting your time because they'll be more focused on whatever they have to do next and pay very little attention to you. So what do you do in this situation? Believe it or not, you can immediately take control of the interview from the get-go. As soon as they mention they don't have the time, immediately reply with, "Oh, would you like to reschedule? I want to be respectful of your time." This generally disarms them and they'll actually treat you properly and you'll get a regular interview. Or they'll take you up on your offer and you've just dodged the big bullet. It's 100% okay to make this offer as long as you're professional about it. This will help set your interview with the right tone, even if you won't have as much time as you'd like. By the way, if you feel like you've gotten value from this video so far, please consider liking and subscribing. We're constantly pushing out new content to help you with your interviews and career. And check out tryvoomer.com where you can practice on questions for thousands of companies and get instant AI-powered feedback on your answers so you can quickly improve and land that dream job. Okay, so in the same line as interviewers who don't have the time, sometimes you might run into ones that don't even show up. In these situations, follow the 5, 10, 15 rule. 5 minutes after the start of the interview, if they still haven't shown up, send an email reminder. At 10 minutes, if you have their cell phone number, give them a call. As a side note, when scheduling an interview, always try and exchange contacts and get their number. In case you need to reschedule or if they're running late, you can both talk to each other quickly. If after all that, they still haven't shown up by 15 minutes, you have every right to leave, and personally, I think you should. This rule also applies to virtual interviews. And the logic behind this is that most interviews are 30 to 45 minutes long. So anything later than 15 minutes cuts the interview time by at least a third. Even if they do show up really late, you won't have the full time needed and you'll have to rush through all your answers. Keep in mind, you want to keep your communication with the interviewer as professional as possible. Instead of, "Hey, where are you? I'm ready. Hi, I've made it to the interview. Please let me know if you can still make it. More than happy to reschedule." This way, you are not accusing them of being late and it shows that you are accommodating. Never assume the worst. Odds are a meeting ran over or something urgent came up. Remember that the deeper you go into the screening process, interviewers might not be full-time recruiters or interviewers. They have other things to do, so they're juggling lots of different things throughout the day. Okay, now unfortunately, even if you're able to get a normal interview started, you're still not in the clear. You might end up with an interview that asks pseudoscience questions like, "If you could be an animal, which one would it be?" Studies show that these types of questions contribute nothing to their understanding of you as a potential employee. Interviewers try and justify them as helping them figure out your personality and behavior, but honestly, there's plenty of better ways to figure that out. When you face these type of questions, try to tie them back to you as a candidate and turn the questions back on them. For example, instead of just saying the type of animal you are, list off your strongest qualities and skill sets and ask them, "What type of animal does that sound like?" I've actually made a video on these type of interview questions in similar situations that might be why you weren't hired, so check it out over here. Another interview type you might run into are the ones that just won't stop talking and begin the formal interview. I'm sure they mean well and they're probably just really energetic, but given your limited time with them, it's really important that you take control of the interview before it gets completely derailed. When this happens, you want to politely nudge them to start the interview. As always, be as respectful as possible. You can try something like, "I just want to be mindful of our time. Do you mind if we jump right to the interview? I'm excited to learn more about this role and the company." It's important to make sure that you communicate professionally and get straight to the interview as soon as possible. Along those lines, you might also run into the interviewer that won't stop asking non-work related questions. This is pretty common in sales interviews, but the problem is that just like the interviewer that won't stop talking, these type of questions can take up a lot of time and you need to be mindful of the limited time you have to convince them that you're the best person for the job. Be respectful and answer the question, but keep it brief and then immediately turn it around and ask them something work related. Now, saving the worst for last, the rude interviewer. There is no way to salvage an interview with an interviewer that is unprofessional and straight up disrespectful. Even if they're being rude, you still need to be respectful and calmly tell them that their behavior is making you uncomfortable. Draw the line with something like, "Excuse me, but what you just said really made me uncomfortable. Do you mind if you keep the conversation strictly about the role?" If that doesn't fix their behavior, the best thing is just to walk away. That type of behavior is a big signal of what it might look like to work at that place. It's just not worth it. Interviewing is already hard. Dealing with bad interviewers just makes everything worse. Try to make the best out of a bad situation. At the end of the day, be respectful of your own time, even if they aren't. And remember, a great way to get good at interviews is through practice. So check out tryvoomer.com, where you can practice on questions for thousands of different companies and get instant AI-powered feedback on your answers, so you can quickly improve and land that dream job. If there's any question you want answered, please let me know in the comments below. I usually reply within one day. And as always, good luck with your interviews. Check out the rest of our channel for more interview tips, including things such as improving your camera and audio setup.